But with that, if I was to buy every book that I wanted throughout March, I'd be spending a staggering woof woof! Hey guys, it's me Marcus, aka the Mad Dog, and we're back with another video. It's the beginning of the month, and you know that can mean only one of two things, but we've already had Whale Watch earlier this week, so of course, it is time for my pull list of March 2021. We're kicking this off with the week of March 3rd, and there's two books that I'm looking to pick up. Before I get into them though, this video is only made possible because the Uncanny Omar from Near Mint Condition puts out a video where he goes through all the books that are coming out in the upcoming month. Yeah, I know that some dates might change between when that video comes out and when they're actually released, but I'm just going off that information, and I'd recommend that you check out his video because he's a great help to the community. The first book that I'm looking to pick up is Conan the Original Marvel Years Volume 5. I can't believe that we're already at the 5th volume of this title. At the minute I've been quite lucky and I've managed to get most of these volumes for about £60, so I'm going to keep that at the same price for this one. The only other book that I'm sort of interested in this week is Superman Batman Generations. Now I've heard that this is mostly comprised of Elseworld titles. I haven't really looked into it too much because admittedly it hasn't interested me a massive amount just yet. However, it looks like it's got quite a cheap cover price, and if I can get that with the books etc 50% off so that this ends up being about £30, then I'll take a risk on it and I'll buy it. So if I was to get both of those books that I wanted for the price that I'd be happy to pay for them, in this first week alone in March I would be spending £90. And right now you're probably asking yourself, but the Mad Dog, are you feeling okay because you haven't said staggering in the 2 minutes since this video's been on? Don't worry, the staggering counter has now been dusted off and it is in use for this second week of March 10th. There are some whammy boys that are coming out this week, and we're starting this off with something that was pushed back from last month, which is the New Warriors Omnibus Volume 1. Hashtag do it for Mr. Omar. Yeah, I'm pretty much just buying this because of how much he raves about this title. It is a complete gamble, but admittedly, I do trust a lot of the recommendations that he provides. And who knows, depending on when you watch this, you might have already seen that I recently featured on his Marvel Solicitations livestream. Yeah, no, I can't really believe it either. I'm just some weird guy from Stoke in his spare bedroom. But for this book, I would be willing to pay about £60. I like Nova as a character, and I'm willing to give this a try. Actually, looking at it now, the majority of books from this week have just been pushed back from last month, because next up we've got the Fantastic Four by Dan Slott Volume 1. This is the oversized hardcover, and I know that a lot of people have said that this title isn't that great. I don't think I can really give myself that benefit of hindsight if, because something's being pushed back and everybody says that it's terrible, I can then just write it away from my list. I feel like I still have to stick to my guns a bit because there was clearly something that was interesting me in this book. If it's bad, that's something that I'm just going to take on the chin, but I'm still willing to pay about £20 for this volume. Next up, and admittedly it's difficult for me to admit this because with this next book, it is actually my first time. It's my first time ever branching into this kind of thing. I'm a little bit nervous, I'm a little bit inexperienced, but it's going to be my first time with an epic collection because I've had my eye on this for a while, but it's Star Wars Legends of the New Republic. People were talking about this during the times when I was getting into the films. That's how revered these titles are. But for epic collections, I usually see them going for about between £20 and £25 if you get them when they pretty much come out straight away. Carrying on with the Star Wars titles, which I am definitely not a newbie towards. I'm actually kind of a bit of a slag when it comes to Star Wars, but it's the Dr. Aphra Omnibus. Now unfortunately this did get pushed back from February, and I was really looking forward to it then. The hype that I've got for this book hasn't really died down. Like I said before, I loved what I saw from her in Darth Vader, but I'm still really excited for this title. I'm not going to miss a chance to pick this one up, and if I can get it for £65, then that will be great. The next book, again a February pushback, and yes, it is an omnibus, and of course it is X-Men by Chris Claremont and Jim Lee Volume 2. I was lucky enough to get Volume 1 for a really good price. I think I got it for about £52 from Books etc, but with how rare these titles went, even though I think that I will still get it for a cheaper price, I would be willing to go up to about £70 for this book. The last two books that I've got for this week are weird for me to have because I've denied being a manga guy for near enough a year now, but the first one is Berserk Deluxe Edition Volume 7. I've been collecting these one by one. Admittedly, I haven't really been reading them. I've been buying them and kind of like using them as an investment so that when eventually we get more volumes of these, I can properly binge through them, because with how addicting people say this title is, I don't want to have to be waiting for about 6 months before I can read the next chunk. But at the same time, I also don't want to have to buy 10 volumes in one go, so I'm buying these as and when they come out, and if I can pick this up for about £25 like the rest of them, then it's definitely going on the list. The next book, I'm not really sure if this definitely is coming out on this day. Forbidden Planet says it is, but it's Blade of the Immortal Deluxe Edition Volume 2. Between Hellsing, Berserk and Blade of the Immortal, Dark Horse is absolutely killing it with these editions. This is the one out of those three titles that I'm really looking forward to reading the most, but I think there's going to be about 10 volumes when all is said and done. But we had issues getting this across to the UK, so if we can get this for about £30, then I'm going to be happy with that. So the staggering weekly totals are already coming in, because if I buy every book that I want for the price that I want on the week of March 10th, I will be spending a staggering £290. For comparison, that's nearly the same as my total that I spent for my entire haul of February. Then we've got the week of March 17th, and we're starting this off with 2 Marvel oversized hardcovers, and talk about going from hot to cold, because the first one that I've got on here is one that I really want, and it's Daredevil by Chip Zdarsky Volume 1. These are the oversized hardcovers, and it's weird because I feel like this title will at some point get an omnibus. This is kind of like the Mark Waid run for Daredevil, because I ended up double dipping on that as well. But I've heard nothing but great things about this title. I enjoyed the first 3 or 4 issues that I read when it came out in singles. If I can get this for about £20, then I'm happy to bring this into the dog pound. But on the colder side of that scale, I've got Avengers by Jason Aaron Volume 1. I know not a lot of people are raving about this title, and nobody's really saying it's bad, they're just saying that it's bland, which sometimes can be even worse. But I do also like to make up my own judgment, and titles that people have said are bad in the past, I've actually got some enjoyment from. As well, when something's got hype, I end up being a bit disappointed by it, but when people say that something is absolute trash, then that's when I go, actually no, it's got some kind of hidden gem quality to it. I don't know if this is going to be the same, but I'm willing to give it a chance, and I'm going to put it in the same price bracket for about £20. Next up is a book that I'm really happy to see get released, and it's Ultraman Rise of the Ultraman. Tokusatsu is my jam, so I love Super Sentai, I love Metal Heroes, I love Kamen Rider, and Ultraman is also part of Tokusatsu. And if this is half as enjoyable as Power Rangers has been for me, then it's definitely worth picking up. And since this is a trade paperback and it looks a little bit cheaper, I'm hoping that I can get this for about £8 or £9. Carrying on that theme of man, I guess, I've got the Tony Stark Iron Man by Dan Slott Omnibus. I'm pretty much just going to call this Iron Man by Dan Slott. It makes my life a little bit easier. And again, I haven't really heard great things about this, but this is kind of like a tactical buy. Anybody who knows me knows that the one omnibus that I want to buy, let's say it together, is Iron Man by Matt Fraction. Wait, what did you say? Okay, leave it in the comments section below. Tell me what book you thought it was. So I'm still living in hope that that will one day happen, but I think this might be like a test in the water kind of book. So by buying this, we are showing that there can be a success in printing a modern day Iron Man omnibus. So if they're looking for other titles, the next logical choice will of course be Matt Fraction. So weirdly, I'm not buying this because I'm really eager to read the story. I will read it at some point, but it's not like as soon as I get it, I'm going to sit down and read it. But if I can get this for about £45, because it is a bit on the slimmer side, then I'll be happy to pick this up and show me support for the Man in Iron. And the final book for this week isn't continuing on that theme of man, because it's Batgirl by Gail Simone. I'm really excited that this omnibus is finally coming out. It's been cancelled quite a few times, but the New 52, I've said it before, I'll say it again, you can even say it with me, the New 52 is my jam. I really enjoyed the first 12 issues of this when it was the time when I was getting into single issues for the first time. And I know that there was editorial issues that were going on behind the scenes, and it's unfortunate that it does seem like Gail Simone was affected by that. However, I'm still really excited for this book, and anything that's printed within the New 52 era, I'm gonna pick up, and this is no exception. So if I can get this for a healthy discount at about £45, it's definitely gonna come into the dog pound. And with that, this has been another week that has shown me absolutely no mercy, because if I was to buy every book that I wanted for the week of March 17th, I would be spending yet again another staggering total of £138. Staggering. And if you thought any of these previous weeks were staggering, just get ready for the week of March 24th. We're starting this off with the Avengers The Gathering Omnibus. I haven't really heard too many rave reviews about it, but it's still something that I am willing to give a try. I'm not willing to spend too much on it, but given the cover price, if I can see this for about £60, then I'd be happy to buy it. But the next omnibus is one that I know does get rave reviews, and there's no chance that I'm missing out on this one, because it's X-Men Inferno. I think I told this story last month, but I had that original hardcover, but I had to sell it when my family fell on tough times and I wanted to raise a bit of money. So there is no chance that I'm missing out on this one again, and of course I'm going to get the prologue omnibus as well. If I can find this for about £60, then I'd be really happy with that. The next one was one that I didn't realise that I needed until I watched Mr. Omar's video, but it's Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey oversized hardcover. If I would have just heard this title, I would have thought this was some kind of tie-in for that movie that nobody seems to have watched or remembered since it's been released. But this is from the creative team of Jimmy Palmiotti and Amanda Connor, so of course I need to pick this up because of the fact that it's got material that wasn't contained in those 3 omnibuses. I don't know if this completely finishes the run or there's still more that's been left uncollected, and admittedly, actually I could do with your help. If you do know the answer to that, please correct me in the comments below. Trust me, I am not going to say that on many occasions, so make sure that you take advantage of that opportunity. Jesus Christ, we've already got another omnibus, and this one actually does make me a little bit angry, but it's the Swamp Thing New 52. It makes me angry because of the fact that my girlfriend managed to find me that deluxe edition about 3 months before this was announced. I'm still going to keep both of them because I know the effort that she went to find that for me, and I just really appreciate it. But it just annoys me that they have haven't brought out a Swamp Thing by Charles Soule Deluxe Edition. They could have done that, re-release a Scott Snyder one, and everybody could have been happy. But no, DC didn't want that, did they? But like I said, it's New 52, so I've kind of got to buy this, but if I can find this for about £55, because I think it's got a slightly higher cover price, then I'll be happy to pick it up. And by happy, I mean just like quite content to pick this up. Next up is one that I really need to get because it's East of West Year 3. I've had this pre-ordered from Forbidden Planet for quite a few months, and I know that it's still in stock at Amazon, but it's cheaper and probably going to arrive safer if I do buy it from Forbidden Planet. I've got this pre-ordered for about £30, and that's what I'm happy to pay for it, and then I've completed this full collection, and hopefully I can read this in Image, which is a month that I'm dedicating towards Image and reading titles from that publisher. If you've got any suggestions for other titles that I should read, put them in the comment section below. Another one that I'm taking a bit of a risk on, and it's a complete blind buy, but it's Norse Mythology Volume 1. I'll tell you a secret, it took me about 4 attempts to say that. I know that this was written by Neil Gaiman. I don't even know how much this costs, so I've just put a conservative £15 on my budget. But a title that I am really excited about, and I can't wait to get this in my hands, it is the Skyward Complete Collection oversized hardcover. I actually put this on my top 15 most wanted independent omnibuses, and I'm really glad that it's actually come to fruition. Don't get me wrong, I don't think that this is a result of my video, but still, I'm really happy to see this title coming out. I read the first couple of issues of this, and I'm glad that it's a bit of a shorter run because I'll probably end up reading this sooner rather than later. The retail price says that this is about £32, so if I can find this for about 20, then I'm going to be happy to pick that up. There is only one other book that I've got on the list for this week, and it might be opening some kind of Pandora's box that I can never close, but it is the Usagi Yojimbo Volume 1 Limited Edition. I am buying this in the slim hopes that this is giving us a glimpse that they might be reprinting the other volumes. I would love this collection. I was half tempted to do a how to collect Usagi Yojimbo because I know a few people are confused by that in a similar way that they were with Criminal. That's something that you're interested in, let me know. But I know that this is the volume that I would need the most. I understand that they say that they're only printing 600 copies because of the fact that there was originally only 900, but it says second edition, and I know that it's unlikely that they're going to continue with this series, but I would hate myself if they did eventually do it and they never printed this volume 1 again. You might think I'm stupid for saying that. You might be thinking I'm stupid because I'm, well, myself. I don't really give a shit because I really want this book. It's a series that I have wanted to read for quite a while, but I didn't really know how to get into it. And I always think the best way to get into a book is with the fanciest edition that you can find, which of course is going to be these ones. I've had this pre-ordered with Forbidden Planet from the moment that I saw this show up, and I managed to get it for about £46. If they actually get it in stock and managed to send one to me, it's a completely different story. And in a month that's already been filled with staggering totals, if I was to buy every book that I wanted for this week, I would be spending yet again another staggering total of £297. And if you thought that was scary, just wait until you hear what I've got on my list for March 31st, because there is absolutely nothing on it. Yeah, I've watched Mr. Omar's video twice now, but there was no books that I wanted for this week. And in the past, I've gotten into the habit of just buying absolutely everything that I can so that I can have a bigger haul at the end of the month and hopefully impress you guys on YouTube. 2021's the year where I'm taking a more sensible approach, and doing this pull list has helped me do that. It's allowed me to see how much I would be spending if I just recklessly picked up everything that I want. So yeah, if I was to buy the nothing that I wanted for the nothing price that I've recommended, I would be spending an unstaggering amount of absolutely nothing. But with that, if I was to buy every book that I wanted throughout March, I'd be spending a staggering £815. Yeah, I can't lie, that's probably not going to happen. This myth about YouTube money, that as soon as you make money on YouTube, you're completely rolling in it, it's a bit of a lie. Although if you did want to support your boy, I have got a tip jar in the links down below. Subtle plug. Because I know that I can't buy everything that I wanted, I've got my list of my top 5 that I'm looking forward to most. These are in no order, but I've got the X-Men Inferno Omnibus, the Skyward Complete Oversized Hardcover, the Batgirl New 52 Omnibus, the X-Men by Chris Claremont and Jim Lee Volume 2, and the Star Wars Dr. Aphra Omnibus. But that's my list, and hopefully there's some good books that you're looking forward to in March as well. Leave what you're looking forward to most in the comment section below, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you didn't like it, why did you get this far? Subscribe if you haven't done so already, and click the bell notification, and check out some of my links in the description. But until next time, just make sure that you stay safe, stay reading the best books that you can find, and stay mad all you dogs. Woof woof! See you in the next video.